What's up, everybody? It's Monday. And guess what, Justine? You thought we forgot. Or that we didn't know.
Come on now.
That it's your birthday today.
Level up.
Yeah. If you don't know, we just came in here and pretend like it was a normal Monday.
Yep.
But it's your birthday. And
Yeah.
we're very, very excited.
Happy birthday.
And we may have a birthday production coming for you. I don't know, maybe at some point. But there's so much going on this morning that we wanted to make sure before we hopped into it that we told you happy birthday. So happy birthday, Justin.
Happy birthday, Turley.
23? Somewhere around there?
Yup.
You going to Broadway tonight or what?
Are you 3 up? You're 2'9", aren't
I am
you?
not 3. We're the same age,
2'9".
Blaine.
All right, I was just making sure. A little older than
Well, that's
you,
like
but all
30
right.
then, because you're like
Just 2
30.
weeks.
I mean,
Your birthday's in...
Look,
Your birthday's
long
in
way from now.
14.
Not a long way.
Nah.
Long way from
13
now.
weeks.
I'm 2'8".
Blaine's
month.
birthday's
The big
on
2'8". This month,
LSU
I mean, in the
Yeah.
you look in space and time, it's a long time, realistically. You know.
Wow. On a Monday, you pull out the
Yeah.
space-time continuum.
You're turning...
I am.
Wait. You're turning 30. That's
Dang,
right.
29, but
Nah.
no,
No,
okay.
you, dog.
All right,
You're born in 92.
94, but all right, we'll talk about it.
Happy level up.
We'll talk about
Yeah,
it.
happy birthday.
Happy
DJ.
birthday, Justine.
Jim Harbaugh's 4-game suspension deal with the NCAA gets rejected.
Nice.
Stetson Bennett outshines Max Duggan again for the second time this year. Now this time in the NFL. And we're going to break down, and I'm going to explain to you why the marriage between Jimbo Fisher and Bobby Petrino is going to work. And I'm sure there'll be a ton of rational responses by fans from everywhere
I didn't know
about
they
it.
were married.
I'm Jake Crain, and welcome to Crain and Company. They are now. Now, ever since the hire was made, there's been a lot of talk about how the Bobby Petrino and Jimbo Fisher relationship is going to work out and who's going to actually call the plays. Now, while people will make their jokes, and I get it, fan is short for fanatical, I personally think it's going to work. I'm not a trends guy. I'm not a fashion designer. I talk about football and sports, all right? A lot of people really don't understand how play calling actually works during the game. Now, there's typically one voice who ends up calling the play at the end on the headset, but it's truly a team effort. It's a staff effort because one coach, regardless of whether or not they are on the sideline or in the booth, cannot see everything at once. All coaches have predetermined spots where they're looking each play, and the flow of information on what is happening on all 3 levels is just as important as the play that gets called. Now, sometimes the head coach will dictate what type of play is called, not necessarily the specific play, whether he wants a run play, whether he wants a pass play, a certain personnel, a certain formation. And this is where I think Jimbo is going to have the most effect on the eventual play call, because the situation determines the play call at the end of the day. And also at the end of the day, the head man is the head man, and what he wants, he gets. It doesn't matter what side of the ball he comes from. All right, now I've talked about on multiple occasions the difference in being a coordinator as opposed to a head coach. And this is absolutely Bobby Petrino's bag as an offensive coordinator. It's like being a chef if you only cooked your best meal. An offense is Bobby Petrino's best meal because the best play callers call plays to set up other plays. Why do you think guys like Lane Kiffin can throw the clipboard up half a second after the snap before the play's even developed? It's because they set your ass up 3 plays ago for this play. Now, Petrino also understands how to make you cover every blade of grass out of multiple formations, and I think he does a really good job of grouping personnels to make you fall for the tendencies that your spreadsheet showed you. Defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators, they look at tendencies and make adjustments. Now, he has more counters than a house full of kitchens. He'll also give you the same look with different outcomes that are built in. That's a long way of saying he makes you believe what you are seeing, and even if you do your homework, you're probably going to get the answer wrong on the test. That's why it's so frustrating. Now, in Bobby Petrino's career, his offensives have averaged over at least 400 yards in 16 out of 20 seasons and 30 points per game in 15 out of 20 seasons. His offenses have gone over the 500-yard and 40-point threshold over 8 times collectively. and his quarterback development skills are also elite. He's tutored the Brahms, Lamar Jacksons, and every style of quarterback out there, so he has no problem adjusting to his personnel behind center. Now look, A&M's probably not going to win the West or be the 10-win team this year that A&M fans want so badly. But he could be just the guy the Aggies need to get ready for their breakout year in 2024. Because laugh all you want, make all the jokes you want, eventually it's coming. David Cohn, eventually he's coming. He's inevitable.
I'm here.
Former Michigan quarterback. Going to talk about Jim Harbaugh here in a second. My brother, former Western State, Colorado wide receiver, Blaine Crain, there to my right. And guys, I've talked about I'm not a trends guy. People say, oh, this hasn't happened since then, so it won't happen now. If you've ever been in it, understand it, played, coached, every year is different. Every circumstance is different. Patterns are fun for fans. But when you look at Bobby Petrino and Jimbo Fisher, what is the first thing you think of, David?
Well, I think that it's going to be a one-year experiment because if it goes well, I mean, Bobby Petrino at his core is a head coach. You know, that's what he wants.
Without a doubt.
So if it goes well, he's going to get another head coaching opportunity. And if it goes poorly, neither one of them may be with the Aggies next season. But when I was coming out of high school, and I nearly played for Bobby Petrino in his first stint at Louisville, this was right on the heels of him having the #1 offense in the country. And trust me, it was touted at Louisville's camp every second that they could say, we had the #1 offense in the country last year. So I pulled some stats here. Just throughout Bobby Petrino's career. So overall in his career, his offenses have averaged at least 400 yards in 16 of his 20 seasons and 30 points per game in 15 of those 20 years. And he has helped eclipse the 500-yard per game marker and 40 points per game threshold in 5 and 3 of those times, respectively. So he's obviously a very significant offensive-minded football coach. The thing that's interesting to me is that so is Jimbo Fisher. That's why Jimbo Fisher was brought in. He was supposed to be the offensive genius under Bobby Bowden at Florida State and sort of, was the heir apparent, got his chance to take over the program, recruits Jameis Winston, wins the national championship in Florida State, and then stuns everybody by leaving, taking the Texas A&M job. So now, if Bobby Petrino was hired to be the offensive coordinator for, say, someone like Nick Saban or Kirby Smart, it wouldn't be that surprising at all. Nick Saban churns through the best offensive minds in the game all the time. The fact that Jimbo Fisher is the one bringing him in is what I think is so interesting. And while you're talking a lot about play calling, I almost think, tell me if I'm crazy here, I think it'll be less about play calling and more about who's playing quarterback and what will the development be like throughout fall camp as we head into the season. Without
a doubt. And again, I always say football's a game that's won by players while coaches watch and talk about it. That really is the truth. And that's like that for most sports. That's not saying coaches don't have any effect, but there's been a lot of coaches that look like geniuses because they had better players than everybody. There's been a lot of coaches that have looked like idiots because their players weren't as good as the other team. Physics is physics, science is science. Now, you want that talent culture mix. But when I look at the quarterback position, I think A&M's in a pretty good spot, right? You got a guy in Connor Wegman that last year looked like he understood what he was seeing. We know athletically that Connor Wegman is talented. I don't think you have to be Sherlock Holmes or the, Brad Pitt and Moneyball to figure out the dude is going to work out. Then you have Max Johnson as a backup, who I don't think is going to win the job. That's why I use the term backup, who I think is going to transfer in December. So you do have two capable guys in case Wegman goes down. But the thing I think, David, and Blaine, I think you'll agree with this, that gets lost sometimes is we hear the term balance, and we instantly think, oh, that means run pass 50-50. And of course, you want to have a good mix of run and pass to be able to keep the defense on edge, get out of tendencies, pitching backwards, as we call it, being able to throw on first down and things like that. But to me, balance is putting the quarterback in a situation to be able to not have an easy decision, but know when to make the right decision most of the time. Because you have some games where the run game is going to be more open because they're lighter in the box, right? You're going to have some games where the pass game is going to be more open because they're heavier in the box. And you have to be able to adjust. But the ego thing is the thing that everybody points back to with Bobby Petrino and Jimbo.
And Jimbo, right?
Yeah, and there's egos. Every one of these guys, to get to this level, you have to have some sort of ego. Somebody says you don't have an ego, they're lying to you. Now, there's different levels to it. And I do think it has to go good early. That's why I think the Miami game, the first 3rd and 7 of that Miami game is going to be huge. But I don't think this is some sort of, power struggle already between Bobby P and Jimbo Fisher. If it goes bad, it's going to go bad regardless of ego. It may enhance it a little bit, but your thoughts on the whole egotistical, this isn't going to work because they both won Hall Camp.
Well, you got to feel really good about Bobby coming on that interview, the way he sounded, the way he was talking about Coach Fisher. And I don't think you'll really know until egos clash until you're on the field and the bullets are actually flying.
Yeah.
Right? You can be in practice, coaches will be on headsets, that's fine, everything can be smooth. But until you're on a field on a Saturday, you're down 10 going into the fourth quarter. That's really when you find out. But my question is, what do we define as working, right, between this, like, as a relationship? What do we define? Is it a 10-win season?
Yeah.
Is it a top 10 offense? Is it averaging 30 points a game? What do we really define as working? Because I do think from offensive side, they're going to be a better football team, especially from last year.
It's going to be hard to be worse.
You think next year is going to be their year?
I think 2024 is, and people say, oh, well, everybody's talking about it's a year after this one, it's a year after this one. I mean, I've been talking about this with Billy Lucci since SEC Media Days 2 years ago. Because up front, they're going to be older in 2024. Here's what I define as success for A&M. Bobby Petrino is responsible for one side of the ball, a third of the game. Offense, you have defense, you have special teams. So to me, I'm not going to say they could win 8 games and have a top 10 offense in the country. Bobby Petrino is not going to have anything to do with the defense or the special teams. So I don't want to say, if I'm going to say overall for Jimbo Fisher, a successful season is, I think 9-3 is a big possibility. I think A&M fans I know want 10 wins. They want that big year. I get it. I totally understand it. But you waited since 1939 before we even dropped our ass into Normandy. So what's another year of waiting? And I do wonder if Bobby P, if they have a big year offensively,
that's what I'm
will
saying.
Get that head coaching job. But again, that's out of your control.
We're a long way from that.
Yeah.
But if that happens, you have a big year offensively, they win 9 or 10 games, and then he leaves and takes a head coaching job. Is there automatically pressure on Jimbo Fisher to bring in another guy?
For sure.
Right? You bring in the next guy, because then you can't just sit there and be like, no, we're going to go back to me calling the plays, or at least being in charge of them.
No, I think now, though, I think your ability to go out and get another big-time offensive coordinator, because look, Bobby Petrino needs this. He was going to where, like UNLV before this, something like that. This is big for Bobby Petrino. He's on the comeback trail, right? Trying to get back to where he was at the mountaintop, right? So he needed this. This wasn't like he was Garrett Riley and Jimbo Fisher went out there and said, hey, come over to Texas A&M. You have a ton of equity built up. You're a young guy that's still grinding. I think if Bobby Petrino does well, gets that next job, what you're going to see is a lot of offensive coordinators around the country who may have not have said, listen, I don't want to get involved in this Jimbo Fisher deal. I don't want to get involved in this Texas A&M deal. Jimbo Fisher's a madman, whatever. I think they may look back and say, maybe this Jimbo Fisher thing isn't that bad of an idea, and he'll have a better chance to go get a big-time coordinator. People say, oh, well, they can pay this and they can pay that. Listen, a lot of these guys that have built up equity, they don't have to go out there and reach for the big payday right now. They're already making a lot of money, and the next move is the move before their head coaching move. So that they're gonna be very, very pinpoint and precise in how they do it. So there's so many different factors here. But the win total, I mean, what do you think, David? Like if they go 9-3 and have a big time year on offense, right? That's success for Bobby Petrino. What if they're top 10 on offense and bottom 10 in defense? He didn't have any control over that.
Here's their schedule real quick. New Mexico at Miami, which we've been slating that one for a long time. That's September 9th. You got UL Monroe, Auburn at home, Arkansas neutral site, Alabama at home, at Tennessee, South Carolina at home, at Ole Miss, Mississippi State at home, Abilene Christian, and then at LSU.
Probably, and you make the 8-4 jokes, it's probably going to land somewhere on 8-4. Now, you win that Arkansas game and that Auburn game, it could get weird.
There's room for sneakiness in the schedule.
There is.
There's room for, I think you can kind of put Ole Miss and Texas A&M and kind of those two teams in SEC. That can surprise a lot of people, but it's going to come down to what it comes down to two things is up front on both sides of the ball. A&M's going to be pretty good. And how good is your quarterback on each Saturday? And if your quarterback, that's what Bobby Petrino is going to come in and try to fix, right? Is a quarterback play. Connor Wegman showed a lot of good things, but until you see it Saturday in and Saturday out, you really don't know. Bobby gives Connor room to make mistakes, not big mistakes, but make mistakes to where you can actually come back or to win a football game. And that's just the experience of Bobby Petrino.
You know, one other thing too here, maybe this works so well and Bobby Petrino says, you know what, man, this was a lot of fun. Just calling offenses. I don't have to deal with all the chaos that I've had to deal with in the past as the head coach. Got to come in here and just call the offense. And maybe they see like how great they could be next season, like you're talking about. Maybe it does turn into a 2-year thing.
Well, like again, we want to know what you think. 1-855-236-3228. We got live calls today. Mondays, the line's typically jammed, so make sure you call early. It may be something, too, where maybe the job he wants isn't open. Mm-hmm. Like, does he want to go and be the head coach at he was just at Southeast Missouri State, right? Or, excuse me, Missouri State. So, like, well, his next jump, wouldn't you want to wait till that bigger job comes open? Like, do you want to go to a UL Monroe?
I don't know what he wants.
Situation like that. Like I wonder. Like you try and now you always run the risk of maybe not working out as well that second year.
I just always feel guys like that got that head coach in them.
They do, but they also want that right job.
They might go on an interview and say, well, look, he loves the head coach, loves Jimbo, what he does, but deep down, he didn't want to get told what to do. All right. He wants to be the one telling people what to do, where to line up, how we're going to practice, how we're going to eat. He wants to yell at people at 5:30 in the morning who's on staff. Like, there's always, like, you're always going to have that in you at the end of the day. Sure. Head coaches are head coaches.
And he's not
Bobby's not the nicest guy in the world.
No.
Right? No. He's not the nicest.
He's out here. Yeah. He's not out here.
Hard to be super nice and have the number one offense.
He's not out here, selling baked goods.
I mean, these lemon bars are amazing, but come on.
I saw this guy yell at I saw him yell at his own son one time at football camp. I thought his head was just going to.
I got we beat his son. I got the only hit when we were 12 years old to send us to the state tournament off Bobby Petrino's son. Yeah,
you've been holding out the bag, baby. We never get Bobby.
Hold that L, Bobby. Hashtag never forget. Also, please don't forget, make sure you subscribe. We're almost to 100,000 subscribers. I think we're at 95.6. If you're in the chat, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and then grab somebody else to grab somebody else. Not physically, okay, unless you're sending them, pulling them out of the way of a train or a car. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's Monday.
Don't hang out with me too much, man.
But real quick, let's get to the Booster Club.
Let's go to Jimbo Eagle, $10 donation. Jimbo, thank you. Cone, Get Off My Lawn segment stopped the NCAA suspension on Harbaugh. Yeah. Syracuse dropped LaQuinn Allen's bogus suspension shortly after my phone call with y'all. It's got to be us. Hashtag Booster Club.
Listen, we're slowly making moves to become the czars of college.
It's a movement.
I love it. And we're gonna get to the Jim Harbaugh situation here in a minute.
Cole Frink with the smooth $20 donation. Cole always coming in clutch, bro. Really appreciate it. LeBron is mid. MJ's the GOAT. Use this to take PJ out for some birthday shots.
Yup.
Happy birthday, Justine.
Yes.
Justine, what's your birthday shot of choice? You probably get what, like whipped cream, like flavored vodka or something?
Rude. I like Fun Dip shots, honestly.
Fun Dip?
There you go.
I like Gatorade.
Great. If I want to be sober and vomit.
Fun Dip.
Fine, give me tequila.
Let's go to Cohen Lewis, $5 donation. Appreciate it, Cohen. Leveling up to 17 today.
Whoa.
War Eagle.
Whoa.
Another birthday. Happy birthday, Cohen.
It's just a birthday celebration. 17. What a great age.
I remember 17.
Makes me want to write a country song. Wait. 7. That's why. I get it. Strawberry wine. That's a good one.
Let's go to Sam Giddens, $5 donation. He says, y'all hit the overtime on the usage of saying for sure. It's so annoying. Well, Sam, hey. Just hashtag.
At least I'm not hitting that over on Flaming Dragon Friday.
Dude, I can't tell you the last time y'all hit the over.
I know, we've been hot.
All right, let's go to Travis Elrod. What up, T. Elrod? What's Nick? With Nick Saban there, what does a defensive coordinator at Alabama even do?
Look, I mean, you have your head coach that specializes in one side of the ball, you're running what he wants, the Rip Liz match thing, and Nick Saban's a little bit different than other places, but you do have your own imprint on it. You are, your terminology is what you're going to use from Nick Saban, but you do have your own flair depending on how old you are, right? Like it's a little bit different with Pete Golding than it is with Kevin Steele. Kevin Steele's been around the block for a long time. I mean, hell, he's as old as Nick Saban is. He may be older than Nick Saban when I look at it. So there's different leashes depending on where you're at. You have a certain structure that he wants you to follow, that Kevin Steele understands. So there is work in there. You are adding a little bit of your own flavor, but you're operating within the context of what he wants to do. But that's how every head coach is, right? You're operating. He may bring you in, and you may have your own terminology. You may have your own, style that he wants to maybe adjust or evolve to that style. But when it comes down to it, if it's 3rd and 1 and he wants you to run the ball and he wants you to run it out of 12 personnel, he's going to tell you that and you're going to do it because he's a head coach.
And Kirby Smart had a lot of success.
Kirby Smart, a lot of success.
A lot
of success.
Just don't be wrong. That's the thing on the.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like the leash gets longer, the more right you are.
Yes.
If you have someone lined up in a 3 technique and they're supposed to be in a 5 technique, that's where the crane, the crane may come down with the megaphone.
Yeah, it's a real skyhook situation.
It is a real skyhook.
Let's go to Cajun Corey. What's up, brother? He says, I don't see this working well. Petrino's a good coordinator, but Jimbo's going to run this offense.
Okay, well, Cajun Corey, I can guess you're an LSU fan. I'm understanding why you may not probably want.
Yeah, right under that it says, I'm glad Max Johnson left LSU.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
November 25th is when y'all will go to Texas A&M.
Again, if we're saying that Jimbo Fisher, are you saying that here's where people kind of, it's a mixed bag. One, they say it's not going to work because Bobby Petrino got caught with a volleyball assistant. Somebody said he's corrupt on Twitter, like he's somehow running. Just
because he can't ride a motorcycle.
Yeah, like he's somehow running a foundation.
It's not as easy as it looks.
Corrupt. It's going to
hard. There's only 2 wheels.
If Jimbo Fisher, but here's where Jimbo Fisher is. It's still going to be what he wants, but Bobby Petrino, again, has so much cachet coming in. Bobby's going to call the plays, and there's going to be rapport between him and Jimbo Fisher. It ultimately does fall on the head coach. But if we're sitting here saying that it's not going to work because Jimbo Fisher just all of a sudden, during the middle of the first quarter, is just going to be like, that's it, Bobby, you're fired. I'm going to sit here and take it. That's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Now, if it's something to where it's not working for 3 or 4 games, and then they end up clashing, and he wants to move on, that's a totally different thing. I understand that argument. There's some rationale behind that argument. But it can't be just it's not going to work because Jimbo Fisher's a bad person and Bobby Petrino's. There's a lot of bad people. Let me tell you about a guy named Urban Meyer, okay? I can tell you about a lot of bad people that have won a lot of football games. It's not as, and I don't mean to sound crass, but it's not as important as what you think it is if you can bring in really good players and you know how to hire people. I'm telling you.
All right, let's go to Travis Elrod. I think T. Elrod. Who would you rather have run your offense, Kiffin or Petrino?
Kiffin.
Mm-hmm.
Kiffin, both of you? Both of you to go Kiff? All right, let's go to Sean Pennison. What's up, Shawnee? Hugh Freeze always wins one game he has no business winning. Which game will that be this year?
You'll find out next week when I do predictions. And I got a doozy for you. I'm really leaning that way. Leaning hard. Talking about Young Dro. Shut up, Mobile.
Dro.
Yeah. Isn't that right?
I don't think you're wrong. It sounds right.
Young Dro, I wouldn't know.
That's his top.
That's his Young Dro.
That's his hit single.
I thought Cohn was a big Young Dro guy.
Never heard
Me too, man. Trav Die 347. Hey, Blaine, we need a new segment to play counter to It's Mid. I think the world is ready for It's Cruise.
It's Cruise.
It's Cruise.
It's
That's
Super
hilarious.
Cruise. Speaking of Super Cruise, guys, you tired of wasting your money on testosterone booster products that don't work?
Yes.
Disgusting.
I don't blame you. I'd be super pissed too. And we all know you get lower T the older you get. It's just part of it, right?
Tell me about your tea.
Tell me about your tea. That's why our sponsor, Nugenix Total Tea, lets you try before you buy. How about that? And you can get a complimentary sample when you text 231-231 and you enter the keyword Crain. All right, 231-231 is the number, and you enter Crain, C-R-A-I-N. All right, I'm getting older. I had less energy than I used to. Started taking Nugenix. Now I hop out the bed like I'm possessed. All right, that's the best way I can put it. And trying it before you buy it, it works. You can keep using it. If not, keep the sample. You've got absolutely nothing to lose, but you could gain energy, muscle, drive, and even more passion. Let's be real. Maybe you lost a little bit. Maybe you lost a little bit off the fastball. All right, you want to get back in there.
You're locating a lot more now.
It's a lot more location. You're more Greg Maddux than Randy Johnson. You want to get back to Randy Johnson. All right, get your complimentary sample when you text 231-231 and enter keyword Crain. Blaine, you've used it.
Look,
obviously exploded.
You can feel the difference. You can feel the difference just from an energy standpoint, and that's what you need. You hop out of the bed possessed, then you stay on demon time.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Choose violence.
The funny thing is I'm actually aging backwards now.
You are.
After I watched that one movie with Brad Pitt, the one.
Benjamin Button?
No, Moneyball. I started aging backwards. But I still take Nugenix.
I thought you said your name was
just
aging
because
backwards.
I like it. Just because I like it. Okay, that's why I take it.
I love that.
I am aging backwards, but still got a tea in order.
That's crazy. I totally guessed the wrong movie. So get your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total Tea when you text 231231 and enter keyword Crain. If you text now, you'll get a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest and most powerful fat incinerator ever, with key ingredients to help you lose weight fast and get lean even faster. Because that bad weight is out of here, mister.
Slide
and slide. Absolutely free. 231231. Enter keyword Crain. Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. That was on the teleprompter, not me. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates apply. #1 doctor recommended brand by primary care physicians based on an independent survey conducted by IQVIA 2022. Nugenix, grow up and bulk up. By the way, if you want to bulk up and be the best version of yourself, make sure you grab some merch.
Yeah.
I want to put some new stuff in there. We're going to put the link in the chat. So this morning, okay, I know inflation's killing everybody right now, but you can spare a few shekels. Go and grab one of them Booster Club shirts, maybe a Flamin' Dragon candle, or maybe something else cool. Because I got some great ideas for merch I want to throw in there, but I want you to buy it out first. All right, let's get to best and worst.
Best and worst.
B's and T's.
I'll go. My best.
I wonder where this is.
The free Jim Harbaugh movement is alive and well. Everything we are doing over here is working.
Coney.
It's a movement. Jim Harbaugh said, no, I will not be suspended, and you can't make me go to Rainbow Land.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's exactly how it happened, but it does sound like the Committee on Infractions for the NCAA has rejected the 4-game suspension, and Coach Harbaugh looks like he will coach every game.
Look, and I think you got to give Penny Hardaway credit for starting this, what I call the no movement.
The nah movement.
The nah. So you just take the C out of NCAA? Nah. Why, if I'm Tennessee and Josh Heupel are like, oh, an extra 12 scholarships over 4 years? Nah, we're just going to keep doing it. What are y'all going to do? What? Like, it's like when you get like, as big as your like your parents, and like hey, if you didn't do this, I'm gonna spank you. Be like, really? You're really gonna do that now? But I'm 31. Like, I don't understand.
I'm 45.
Yeah. I would tell the NCAA, listen, we have NIL, we can pay players now. Okay. We have the dead period, which, come on, we all know you talk to third parties. It's like Iowa and Iowa State betting through third parties. At what point is the NCAA, you just tell them no?
Look, honestly, I know.
Not doing this anymore.
I don't even think we need a college football season this year. You just get that national championship and you give it to Michigan because it's already locked up.
All right.
It's
Sean.
It's already locked up.
I mean, it's a good
locked
situation in Ann Arbor right now.
Goodness gracious.
I'm so glad he's going to be there to play Mary Margaret.
We play East Carolina to start, okay? They play football over there.
Dangerous.
All right?
Dangerous.
Even though I did think it was disrespectful for Paul Feinbaum to just say, to brush this off like, oh, well, they're playing a bunch of nobodies to start. Look, you can talk about Michigan being favored in the schedule and not talk about these other schools being nobodies.
Yeah, well,
I'm sure that's why you really care.
The kids and the coaches at East Carolina and at Bowling Green, they play football too, and it matters to them.
Scotty left.
Now, this will move along. Yeah, exactly. This will move along disciplinary actions, and the NCAA didn't say whether or not, what the penalty is going to be, which would probably take many months after the season. But they did make it a point to say this is not about a cheeseburger. The NCAA statement said the Michigan infraction case is related to impermissible on and off-campus recruiting during COVID period and is not about a cheeseburger. How funny would it have been if they're like, and it's not about a cheeseburger, David.
I think they just watched Get Off My Lawn. They were so embarrassed.
Then you know they're listening.
David's really just a bully. He just picks on people and get off my lawn. Like Syracuse, he bullied Syracuse and Jimbo.
The NHL shut down Pride Nights.
He stopped Pride Night in the NHL.
It's working.
He stopped it.
You know what I'm about. Bully for positive ways.
Positivity bullying.
Positivity bullying.
Tell him about your boy.
Look, we called him old Skip a Step. Because the way he ran, he's fat, overweight, not that funny in high school. We bullied him. Now he's hilarious, and he's a lawyer, and he's probably getting married soon.
And he's skinny.
He's skinny, Tony.
He's skinny, Tony.
Absolutely.
Slide and glide.
I love it.
All right, which one of your best?
My best over the weekend's Damar Hamlin.
Love it. Yeah, it's good.
And guys, if you played a sport, and especially if you had like a bad injury, you tear an ACL, you tear a shoulder, you always in the back of your mind when you step on the field think about that injury. Well, no matter what you're doing, can you imagine Damar Hamlin's mindset to have to get back on the football field after basically dying?
No, he did die.
For a certain amount of time on a field. He had 3 solo tackles. Just first couple plays, man, just got in the mix. Yeah. Got in the mix early.
You got
I
to.
just want to praise the courage that it takes to do that. And that's how much he loves this game. That's how much these guys love this game.
Yeah.
That they're willing to die on the field, come back to life, and get ready and pat it up next year to get his ass back out there. Damar Hamlin, congrats, man. You are an absolute savage.
And I don't care where you fall in on the COVID shot.
100%.
It's great to see him back. Because the boy died on the field.
Yeah.
Like,
That was this year.
Yeah.
Right? This year, we were wondering if this guy was going to survive or not. Now he's out there. He had, what, 3 solos?
3 solos.
How many soft players, though, at practice who are like, Coach, I can't go because my hammy?
Oh.
How many times? Like, be like, oh.
Damar
wow.
Hamlin's just in the back.
No. It's like their coach is like, wow, man, that's crazy because, Damar Hamlin, like, he pulled his heart or whatever, and then he came back and
He
played.
died, and he
died
just
and
ran
came back
drills.
and played, and your hamstring hurts? Okay, all right. Well, let's just, I can't wait to call your father.
It's just awesome to see, man.
It is
It's just
awesome
awesome
to see. My best was a combination of a couple rookies. Stetson Bennett
Yeah.
goes 17 to 29 for almost 2 bills, a touchdown. All right, look good. Brett Rippon, move on with your life because there's a new backup in LA. Matt Stafford, if he does get beat up, guys, I'm telling you, Stetson looked like he belonged. Forced a couple that he could have got. He got away with at Georgia, but the arm strength, the little witchiness, he just looked like he belonged. Stetson in the NFL. Everybody talked about, oh, you didn't graduate. Yeah, sorry, he's graduated for the preseason. All right, and definitely going to make the roster. The dude was like 4th string at Georgia. He's basically, a walk-on from JUCO. Now he's going to be the backup for the Rams. And Deuce Vaughn, aka I got a new nickname, Deuce Hiccup Vaughn, right? Because all he's doing out there, we hear the term quicker than a hiccup. Boy's playing hide and seek out there. Eight carries, 50 yards, and a touchdown, and he didn't get Mr. Potato Headed the whole game. He literally snuck under an offensive lineman in between 2 tacklers in the game. And if you think about the size of the Cowboys' offensive line, it's a great mix. Where is he? He's in the end zone. I mean, he's out there running a magic show.
Yeah, when we're going to see the piggyback play. I mean, you pull a guard, instead of just running, he jumps on the back of the guard.
He jumps on your back?
No one knows it. You look up, they're 30 yards down the field.
It could happen. Well, the back pocket play.
The back pocket.
Where is he? All right, it just makes me think of that scene in Ace Ventura when he's supposed to fight the guy in the circle, and the big guy walks out there.
Yeah, and turns around.
And he thinks it's him, and he turns around, and it's really the little guy in the backpack.
Yeah.
That's like...
See the Cowboys offense.
That's Deuce Vaughn.
I love
How about Stetson facing off against Max Duggan, though?
Yeah.
College football playoff.
Let me hold
Max
that.
is like, I can't get away from this
I
guy.
can't escape this guy.
Deuce looked great. Tajay Spears, too.
Yeah.
The other night.
Tajay
Coming out of
really
2.
Hey,
playing for
A.T.
the Titans.
Perry, too.
Aiden O'Connell looked nice. I'm telling
If you watched Aiden in college...
Yeah, like, I know Jimmy G's like supposedly going to be their guy, speaking of injury prone.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, Aiden, from a footwork, timing, progression standpoint,
He's an NFL player.
He was just some boom, 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 hey, whatever y'all
You could tell
kinda
McDaniels was just over there just cheesing.
Yeah. You know it's good when McDaniels is not talking a lot.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a good Stewart again.
Yeah, Aiden looked extremely nice last night.
Stewart again.
Worst, Coney?
My worst, Shane McClanahan is out for the
Yeah,
season. Now, man, I really hated to
He's
hear
so
this.
nasty.
Going to be, like, put him on the 60-day DL, I guess, something like that. But you just hate to see it because he's been so good throughout the year. So they'll miss him for the rest of the season, but maybe he'll come back strong next year.
Yeah, on that point, too, I'll stand the Rays. Wander Franco. Okay, now I want to
What
say,
happened with this?
I want to preface this. They're investigating right now, it's allegedly, but it just absolutely tore through social media yesterday, and he didn't play yesterday because apparently, and this is allegedly, okay, for my legal scholars out there, he had a relationship with an 8th grader. I think he's 22.
Really?
And apparently, from what I saw, allegedly, I'm just going to say that word every time, there was like an extortion plot where if he didn't pay a certain amount of money, he signed an 11-year, $223 million contract. If he didn't pay a certain amount of money, she was going to expose it. And on social media, apparently, he sent pictures. An 8th grader. And just to prove to you that we live in the Matrix, yesterday was Wander Franco snapback hat day for people that are 14 years and under.
No.
That is honest to God.
serious?
I swear.
All right, so the Rays released a statement, said, during today's game, we were made aware of social media posts that are circulating regarding Wander Franco. We take the situation seriously and are in close contact with Major League Baseball as it conducts its due diligence. But then their manager, Kevin Cash, said the day off is just because it was a day off.
Yeah. On Wander Franco's snapback hat day. That's not
You
how
don't
that
get
works.
a day off on
Yeah,
snapback.
not on that day.
They're trying to sell as many of those as possible. They want you to hit a tank and everybody go by a snapback. But here's what I'll say. Nothing's proven yet. You're innocent until proven guilty.
Yep.
But I did think the whole point of Major League Baseball was to stay out of the minors.
Stop it. How am I supposed to? How am I supposed
yours?
to? Okay, great. Let me follow this. My worst was Trey Lance.
Ha ha ha! Nailed it.
I'm not going to sit here and say we told
Nailed
you so.
this
but
one.
We told you so.
The offensive line wasn't great, but
I know
Receiver.
he got injured last year. We never believed in this guy. You got to think what the 49ers gave up for this guy. It's a 21 first rounder, 22nd first rounder, 23 first rounder, and a third round 23 to the Dolphins. And right now, Brock Purdy's going to be your quarterback.
Yeah.
Right? Sam Darnold's thrown more picks than he's played in games. You can't trust Sam at all. Trey Lance hasn't looked like he's gotten any better at all. At this point, you might as well put Trey at slot receiver. He's not going to be your quarterback. If you can't work in a Kyle Shanahan ran offense, hell, you could probably put Cone in there right now. And Cone's 5-0 at Michigan.
Yeah.
Right now with a big week going in. What game was
Huge
this?
week.
I can't remember who.
we got
Michigan State. You're playing Michigan State. So right now, the Trey Lance pick, Kyle, boring.
Yeah, it's, again, don't want to say we told you so, but at some point, like, do we look at North Dakota State quarterbacks and it's just like, nah.
It was a reach. And
Easton Stick's looking like the best one right now. He went 14-21 for 109 yards and a touchdown. And he's not going to be the starting guy. Justin Herbert's over there with the Chargers. So it's unfortunate for him. And then my second worst, and this one, it hurts. Okay? This one hurts me. It's the Mets.
Oh, boy.
They're an embarrassment to baseball. Let's pull this clip up. Like, when you hear the term tanking, you just want to know when you're they have $330 million payroll? Y'all can't field a ground ball. Let's go ahead and watch this clip. Watch Austin Riley hit a
I love Austin Riley's
second base. Let's go ahead and just watch this clip. If you're on audio, I just wanted you to hear this.
Oh, let's keep your hands inside. Understandable right there.
So the outfielder, then he's going to drop it. Ozzie Albies going to score from first.
Oh, boy. Dude, the second baseman, I understand. Tough play. Tough grab right there. You got to come get the baseball.
This reminds me of the water boy when the first time he meets Mr. Coach Klein, and he walks in there, and Coach Klein's watching film, and he's like, oh, here's the snap. We get it. We fumble it. Then they pick it up. They run it all the way. Oh, he has time to dust it off. Then he runs in the end zone before any of our players even realize what's going on. That's exactly what that reminded me of. And, I'm a Braves fan. We're all fan of somebody. But the Mets and the Yankees being bad is not good for Major League Baseball. Mm-hmm. Such a big market. At least one of them, if I had to choose, I would like the Yankees to be better so for the Braves could beat them in the World Series. And the Mets, it's a disastrous organization.
Braves won that first one 21-3.
Yeah.
Was that the second most
scored more points than the Falcons.
There you go.
How about that?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the Yankees. I wasn't even going to have a second worst today, but I'm going to throw this out there. You give up 5 in the bottom of the 9th against the Marlins.
The Marlins.
I tell you what, it's to the point now to where I can watch a whole Yankees game. We could be winning by whatever. The ninth inning comes around. If they get the first runner, the first batter on base, I turn off the game.
If Brian Cashman walked in here right now, what would you say to him?
Say to him. What do you mean, say to him?
What would you do?
I don't think I can say it on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah,
there's going to be physical repercussions.
Blaine's bucket step would be coming in.
Nice.
I'd be bucket stepping or pulling. We're bang pulling. Look, I'm taking the 15-yard penalty. It's a crackback.
Sometimes you need to get one, though.
Hey, look, sometimes you really need to feel it.
Yeah.
You really need to feel to know that.
Braves Yankees tonight.
Can't wait not to watch.
I can't.
I know I'll watch, but I don't want to.
You'll watch.
God, we're so bad.
There's no more football on until this weekend.
Thursday.
Until Thursday.
I tell you what. I had so much fun watching football this week.
Isn't it great?
You
know what else is great?
Season.
You know what else is great?
Tell me.
We are officially closer to college football season.
That's true.
Okay? We're in the middle of the preseason in the NFL. All right? And we all know Thursday night games can go late, and having some beer with the boys can lead to some not-so-fun mornings. Y'all been there, right? You may have been there this weekend. We all understand how that feels and what I'm talking about, especially when you have to get up and go to work. And that's where our friends at Z-Biotics comes into play. They're a pre-alcohol probiotic. It's the world's first genetically engineered probiotic, and it was invented by PhD scientists like me to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Look, this stuff works, okay? It's pretty simple. You drink it before you go out, and guess what? You wake up the next morning, and you're feeling better than what you probably normally would have felt. Okay, and I can't specifically say why, but you know why.
It works.
It works. Okay?
It works.
Look, and the great part is, you may be in college. You may be 55. Hell, I hope you're 80 and going out and having a great
Congrats.
panicking over what team. Just hoping, just drinking. And we all know what that leads to. And our friends over at Z-Biotics, before you drink alcohol, and remember, drink responsibly, okay? And get a good night's sleep on top of it, and you will feel your best. So go to zbiotics.com/booster. Z, all right, just the letter, Biotics, BIOTICS.com/booster, BOOSTER, to get 15% off your first order with code BOOSTER at checkout. And Z-Biotics is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee. So if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, which you're going to be satisfied, so don't even worry about it. But they do that, no questions asked. That's zbiotics.com/booster. Use our code BOOSTER at checkout, right? And you get 15% off your first order. Drink it in. It always goes down smooth.
I've used it twice. It works.
It's actually great stuff. I mean, you talk about just saving you. Woo! You love to see it. All right, Booster Club, real quick. Remember, we got call-ins, 1-855-236-3228. Make sure you grab some of that merch. Make sure you subscribe.
JT Brown with a $10 donation. Appreciate it, JT. Says they fired Jim Tressel at Ohio State for way less.
Yeah.
Just saying.
That one's still.
They took away Reggie Bush's. I'm sitting here watching the Johnny Manziel doc, wondering how the hell they took away Reggie Bush's Heisman.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, y'all took away.
And y'all take away this man's Heisman? Not that I want you to take it away, but good God.
The Jim Tressel firing I still cannot believe it.
It's
like some guys traded their memorabilia for tattoos, and y'all fired Jim Tressel? Like, it's unacceptable.
You remember Todd Gurley got suspended like half the year for getting like $60 for a jersey he signed? Just
Don't
ridiculous.
get me started on cheeseburgers, man. I could go on all day.
You could. I'm just glad. I'm glad that you scared the NCAA. You big bad burly man.
Let's go to Cornwall Buttersworth.
Ooh.
$2 donation. He's asking, why did Shan throw 3 consecutive times on the first drive? I mean, just to see how it's going to look this year.
I mean, I just don't want to sit here and run ISO, you know.
How many times can you run power?
How am I going to know what Trey Lance? Oh, he's great at handing off. Like, I get it. Like, but sometimes you do want to pitch backwards. I think one of the best things Shanahan does is his ability to line up in what looks like run formations and run tendency plays and be able to run play actions and boots and things like that. It really comes through on 3rd and short. But you want to give Trey Lance the whole Waffle House menu. You don't want to sit here and just, hey, here's a pancake. Put some syrup on it. Enjoy. You want to find out, which, by the way, if you don't really know by now, then he can't do it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. If you don't know but by this point, then he can't do it. I mean, at the end of the day, and I hate it, right? But Trey Lance just, who would you take Trey Lance over backup quarterback-wise right now? Who?
Backup quarterback-wise?
Yeah, who? I don't sound like an owl right now, but, I mean, Blaine Gabbert? I would take Tyler Huntley over him in a second.
Yeah, I would too.
Can't do it.
Let's go to Kyle Kennedy. He says, good to see the Rams brought in an older quarterback to mentor Stafford.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I want to say this too. It was crazy yesterday. At one point, I feel like I saw so many Georgia and TCU players all over the field. I mean, for the Chargers, you got Quinshawn out there. Mm-hmm. You got Darius Davis, who ran a punt back for a touchdown, that little witch they had last year. You had Max Duggan. Then you had Stetson Bennett. By the way, did you see Jalen Carter with the Eagles?
I can't believe
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
That for.
He's good. These Bills are good. All right, one more.
Let's go to No Fun League. He says, it's great to see New York teams shatting the bed in baseball. What's your problem, dog?
Well, they shat everywhere else in
What's
New
your
York.
problem? Don't put us with the Mets.
Bed in football.
Don't put us with the Mets. Everyone hates the Mets. All right? Not everybody hates the Yankees.
Is it going to be one of those years where both New York teams are bad at baseball, but both New York teams are good
in
football?
I think that'd be better for New York. I'm telling you, Jets Super Bowl bound? Maybe. Hadn't made predictions yet, but I'm telling you.
How about Giants, huh? Daniel Jones.
Look.
Brian Daboll. Saquon on the 1-year deal.
Fat Genius.
Huh?
Big Bri.
Got it figured out.
Bri. I don't know where I was going with that. All right.
Okay, let's go to Stephen Moore, the man who's always right.
Yeah, you make
Have you seen the Detroiters episode where Harbaugh is flipping out at a booster event? It was my celebration for Harbaugh getting off. You seen that? The Detroiters?
Nah, I don't know about that.
Huh? Is there cheeseburgers involved, Dave?
Yeah, there's probably Little Brown Jug, fried cheese balls there too.
Yeah.
You keep it really makes me want to.
We'll go to Ann Arbor.
Can we get some?
We'll road trip it.
Yeah.
What's the name of this place? Well,
Little Brown Jug.
It wouldn't. They have to send it too far for it to be fresh and delicious.
Yeah. Now you need it there.
What's it called again? The Little Brown Jug?
Yeah. Brown Jug. Man.
God, that sounds like a great place to eat in college too. All right, one more.
All right, 3 times, 1 more. Let's keep it going. Sister Riggs. She says, hey, Ty Huntley did actually look really good Saturday.
Dude, Ty Huntley's a good player.
He should keep that backup spot.
Ty Huntley's a good player.
Ty looks really good.
And I had the Ravens money line, so thanks.
Did you? God, preseason games are so hard to bet.
I had the Saints money line. How did they come back and win?
Oh, boy threw a pick like when they're trying to...
Okay, so the play before that, that's when I gave up on them.
That's crazy.
It was the first run of the drive, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Keep talking. No,
Blaine had the Chiefs money line.
This is great.
Oh.
No, talk about your win. This makes me feel better.
I didn't even know about it.
This makes me feel better.
They run the ball on that first play, and they got like 5 or 6 yards, and I was like, okay, this one's over.
Money.
Walked away. They kicked a field goal? Like how?
No, second down ran it. Third down and short, they tried to get cute, which if you're going to get cute and screw up, do it in the preseason. And I think it was Oladukin who played at North Dakota State. Telling you, stop doing it. Stop drafting them. Unless they play offensive line, they got a ginger beard.
And he threw a pick.
And what? The Christian Watson kid.
He's nice.
Yeah, he's nice.
He's nice. Straight line guy.
Yeah, threw a pick and a screen. Which Oladukin, I thought, was what Boy said on Mortal Kombat all the time.
I thought Ronnie Bell looked nice, too.
Did he?
Ronnie Bell looked good.
Yeah. Well, before we get to calls, let's go into NFL quick hits.
NFL quick hits. All right, let's break down some more of these quarterbacks. Justin Fields.
Yes.
Went 3 for 3 for 129 yards. I think all 3 of them were behind the line of scrimmage. But
hey,
DJ Moore his first play as a Bear.
Weapons. Get this man some weapons. I'm telling you, Justin Fields is nice. I'm looking at the Bears more and more, and I'm looking and I'm liking.
Just up front. That's
what we're going to see. They sold at the end of last year, too.
Up front on the offensive line. Look, Justin can get out a lot of things.
He's a leading rusher.
A lot of things.
Quarterback.
You basically have a running back at quarterback who can throw the hell out of it. But their offensive line is bad.
They are.
It's bad. The Bears usually always have a little ish about them when it comes to defense, right? It's usually like you go to the Bears, it's no longer you're wearing sleeves or anything like that. They always have one guy in the middle who's just killing everybody.
Yeah.
It's the way the Bears roll.
Look like it came straight out of Mordor.
Can Justin escape for 13 weeks?
I don't know if anybody can. If anybody can turn into the Maze Runner, it's Justin Fields.
Absolutely.
DJ Moore, 1 reception for 62 yards and a TD.
I'm good,
Khalil
Coach.
Herbert, 1 reception for 56 yards and a TD.
It's unbelievably
Isaiah Ford,
efficient.
1 reception for 37 yards.
Look, the quicker you can do it, the better.
Yeah, it's get me out. I thought Drew Brees said something hilarious in the broadcast. He's like, if I was a head coach in the NFL during the preseason, I'd tell the offense, listen, you're in until you score 10 points, at least. He's like, you want to talk about guys getting out there and wanting to play good first couple drives and get out?
I like that.
What feels better? And this might be a stupid question. What feels better? Scoring on a 70-yard, 1 play, 65-yard drive, or like a 13-16 play?
Depends on how much
9-minute drive, and punch.
I think it depends on if it's like the first drive of the season, like you're at home.
I like the long drives.
Dude, there's something about a long
big
drive.
Play. But if you're just punching them in,
there's some about it, dude. There's some about killing somebody in the time of possession in football. Just feels.
Well, yeah, there is something emasculating, but the best part about that is when you're trying to run the clock out, right? That's the best time to emasculate somebody to me on the football field, which it's never a bad time. But early in the year, I just go back to Carnell Williams hitting that 83-yard touchdown run on the first play against Bama. Yeah. That was fun.
All right, we talked about Stetson. We talked about Deuce Vaughn. How about Jordan Love? Your thoughts?
I think he's better than Trey Lance. It's always going to be tough following Aaron Rodgers. I mean, let's be honest. I'm one of the greatest all time. I don't think he's going to be able to live up to that. But I do think he was more consistent than what I've seen him. I've got to see him do it over multiple games. I got to see him do it in the real game. I'm interested to see what the weapons that the Packers have. Look, I love Aaron Jones. I like A.J. Dillon. I like what they have in the backfield. Out wide, though, you got Christian Watson. Not a ton.
Hey, Darnell Washington, baby.
Monster.
You better watch out.
Monster. I thought Jordan looked pretty good. I still think the jury's out, though. I don't think I can decide either way yet. I got to see it in the regular season.
Not in love with it. I'm not in love with it at all. I think he's going to be a mediocre quarterback. I don't think he's going to last that long at Green Bay. I think he'll be the starter throughout the year. I don't know who their backup is. Is it Sean Cliff?
It is Sean Clifford.
And Sean's like 37.
Yeah, talk about an old quarterback.
You never know, but I've never been in love with the Jordan Love mood. but you're not going to replace Aaron Rodgers. But I think you can get something better.
Yeah. Sean Clifford's like, oh boy, from Big Daddy's got a 5-year plan.
How about Bryce Young?
Offensive line's terrible.
They're trash.
So bad. The offensive line is so bad. I mean, and Bryce took some hits.
He was getting smoked.
He got right back up. I think it shows you just the type of person that Bryce Young is. But damn, man. Somebody get this man a bubble suit.
It's just not.
They're going to be so bad on the offensive line's just awful.
Yeah, he was 4 for 6, 21 yards. Matt Corral came in 15 of 22, had 126, did throw a pick, no TDs, but yeah, he got sacked 4 times too.
It's you cannot win with that offensive line.
Their next draft needs to be an entire draft of drafting offensive linemen.
Have to.
You make whatever move you can. You trade whatever you need to trade pick-wise to go get some guys, because this is how it starts. You get the quarterback, then you get the O-line, then you go D-line, and then we'll see you on a Sunday.
Yeah, it's 100% correct. That's perfect.
All right, Anthony Richardson went 7 for 12, 67 yards and a pick.
You know, and everybody made fun of the one pick he threw, but that was Anthony Richardson last year, what we saw. But you need to get these mistakes out in the preseason. Because the Colts, I mean, when you look at their offensive line, I mean, one of the highest paid offensive lines in the game, they could put it together. I think he just has to get through this. There's going to be growing pains with it, but he showed some flashes, man. He put some touch on some balls down the field.
Yeah.
I thought that, again, his athleticism's there. I'm telling you, man, I'm buying Anthony Richardson. I'm buying him over the long term. Let him get the mistakes out. That's why preseason was made.
But he keeps making the mistake.
That was his first game.
I know, but I'm going back to college, right? Because that's the only thing we can do.
He got drafted off potential.
You go back to the Utah game, right? Played phenomenal. Got worse throughout the year. You go back. This is what he did. Like, the ceiling's so high on this guy. I get it. From a physical standpoint, the dude's an absolute freak. But he gets to certain spots and panics, right? With that pick, he panicked. He's got touch. He has a rocket for a laser, or a rocket for an arm. But when it gets to certain situations, when it breaks down, he panics to keep making the same mistake. I know there's going to be growing pains, but those pains kept growing in college, and he never fixed them. How long will it take Anthony Richardson to fix these mistakes?
Sometimes the NFL can fix it, man. Sometimes they can fix it. When you're going out there and you're not all of a sudden the most athletic person on the field every time, like you were in middle school, like you were in high school, like you were even in college at Florida. I think you can make that argument. If it does click, and this is where it's hard as a GM, right? So you make the decision. If Anthony Richardson does figure it out, his ceiling is, who knows? Who the hell knows? At the end of the day, I think it was worth the risk, and I would much rather you make that mistake during the preseason and try and grow from it in an NFL system, right? Sometimes players fit the NFL better than they fit college. And the Florida situation, he was an unfinished product. Florida had a lot of problems around him, right? He found a way to beat Utah. I know they lost to Vanderbilt, but I'm just telling you, man, the risk, I think, could be worth it. Because I think the reward at the end, if he does figure it out.
A couple things real quick. Jonathan Taylor may be coming back. I've seen that circulating a little bit. And how much do you run Anthony Richardson?
Well, that's what I was going to say. I agree with you that some guys, the NFL game translates more for them than college. I just feel like he's the opposite of that. I thought he would have a better college career than an NFL career with his ability to use his legs. So how much are they going to run him? Is this going to be a Cam Newton 2.0 situation?
Yeah, well, sometimes when they do take your legs away a little bit, it does help you develop in that other aspect. I mean, sometimes I think it can be the best thing for you. And we've seen guys be able to come through that before. It's just such an interesting case. Like, I can't wait to watch it unfold just as a fan of football, because I do think it's going to be either high flying or an absolute disaster. So we'll see. And you got mixed bag game one.
And other quarterbacks on the Colts roster, Gardner Minshew went 6 for 6 for 72 yards, and Sam Ehlinger went 8 for 9 for 72 yards.
Yeah.
So they came in, they were efficient. Last couple here, the Eagles linebacker Sean Bradley tore his Achilles, and missed the season. And then Packers tight end Tyler Davis tore his ACL.
Yeah, part of it in the preseason. I mean, that's why you go back and forth on who do you play, how long do you play them. Knock on wood, though, not any quarterback injuries. We saw.
Knock on something.
Yeah,
thank you.
Knock on wood.
Malik Willis looked okay. Malik Willis. Will Levis
looked exactly like we thought Will Levis was going to look. His feet are just all over the place. They're just all over the place. How many throws does Will Levis make when his feet's set? I think he makes less throws with his feet set than when they're not. And sometimes he'll run around there and make a throw, and you'll be like, wow, okay, I get it. And you say, well, the return on Will Levis can be as high as it is on Anthony Richardson. I don't buy into that. I don't think Will Levis has touch. I really don't. And again, you look at some of the throws he missed. Where does he miss? He misses high or out and down. There's not a lot of close misses with Will Levis. So,
all right. Let's go to Jared Hallett. What's up, Jared? He says, JT has to come back because the Colts running back depth is good enough. It only hurts his case for a big payday. One thing that can help a quarterback, a good running game.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't think Jonathan Taylor's not looking at Anthony Richardson like, look, if we do figure this out, now I know they don't have the best wide receiver core around them. The Colts, man, I want it to work out so much for Anthony Richardson because I think he can be that good.
Let's go to Mad Veg. Every time they talk about Justin Fields, I feel like I'm hearing Crain trying to make fetch happen. All right?
What do you?
Fields sucks. Accept it, boys. And
what do you
on.
mean he sucks? He led the league in rushing last year, correct?
For quarterbacks.
For quarterbacks, I mean, he had no help around him. I mean, you had Mooney get hurt halfway through the year. Like, this isn't high school where you can just run around and you know, you're just the best player there every time. I mean, what he did last year I thought was almost impressive. I'm telling you, keep sleeping on Justin Fields, Matt Veg. Keep sleeping on him.
So to Cajun Corey, he says, I saw a clip of the Dolphins O-line, and poor Tua isn't going to make it through the year.
Mr. Potato Head?
Guys, he's doing jiu-jitsu. He's
you
good.
Love saying that.
He's good. When a D lineman comes to him, he said, go, get on the ground, ground and pound the headlock. Straight to the lock.
You got to learn how to get tackled, man. Stop twisting the other way.
It's too late for that. You're
who
year
you are.
4 in the NFL, 5, whatever. Like, it's too late for that.
Every time he gets tackled, he's like, how can I make this the worst physically on myself?
Let's go to JT Brown, $5 donation. Appreciate it, JT. Says, I like what I see in Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence looks good.
Yeah, he did.
Came out early, did throw that pick. He responded. Look, it's Trevor Lawrence. He knows what he's doing. Jags got to be the favorite, right?
I'm telling you. There's something about the Jags this year.
Tank Bigsby?
Tank, 9 carries, 52 yards. To be honest, and this was kind of a hot take of mine, like, look, I'd rather have, go back to Auburn, I'd rather have Jarquez Hunter.
No, I've said that. I agree with that 100%.
I think Tank broke a lot of tackles in college.
He's not a home run hitter.
But you got to think of the running back depth they have there. They've got ETN, who's only getting nicer and nicer. He's like a fine.
He's got to stay healthy, though.
Yeah, he's got to stay healthy.
His ankles, like, feet are all.
The offensive line got better. Trevor Lawrence, I mean, doing shampoo commercials. Like, you always know you're playing good when you're doing shampoo commercials.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I know, like, I feel good a lot.
You're in they don't put you in shampoo commercials when you're doing bad.
All right, let's go to Noah Lejeune. What's up, Noah? Jets win the Super Bowl with Hard Knocks cameras catching every moment. The Jets came out and looked extremely good.
Look, every time I watch the Jets on defense, I get personally excited. I just like the way the team's made up. I do. And I do want to say this, too. They're not the Jets, but I thought Jake Haener didn't look bad the other day, too, for the Saints. I didn't think he looked that bad. But back to the Jets, man, I'm telling you, they're really trendy for my Super Bowl pick. I said I'm not a trends guy, but it's not like they've been balling the past couple of years. You got A-Rod over there in the sidelines who's smiling, talking about hanging out with Sauce Gardner. I like that. That makes me feel good about it. I'm telling you, man, Jets.
Haener led that Saints drive to come down there and score the touchdown.
He did,
dude. Spider 2 Y banana roll out for the touchdown.
Spider 2?
And then, hey, let's go for 2 for the win. I was excited because I was going to hit my bet. Center snaps it to him while he's trying to call an audible.
Yeah.
And then I thought they lost, and then they won, and then it was he had already talked.
I'm glad we keep talking about this.
Michelle made a hell of a play, the SMU quarterback, to score that last touchdown where he juked one guy, then juked another D lineman, then just spun it. Patrick Mahomes is absolutely losing his mind on the sideline. But speaking of losing their mind, you ready to get to calls, David?
I do. I want to get to calls. Pongo. In Canada.
Oh, Skyhook.
Yep.
All right, Kirk.
What's the word?
Something about some hockey or something, whatever.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little, but how you guys doing? You guys had a good weekend?
Yeah, man. What about you?
Kirk, you doing good, bud?
It was awesome. I took a little vacation, flew to Ontario, saw some friends and family, saw the Toronto Blue Jays get destroyed by the Baltimore Orioles 13-3.
They hit for me yesterday, though.
Fun.
Yeah.
Vlad Guerrero Jr. needed it for fantasy. I'm trying to fight back late.
The Blue Jays always seem to lose when I bet on them, but please continue.
Yeah, it's like the Rays for me.
So 2 things. One, just a part B of that call last time a couple weeks ago, and Blaine said something about the Flyers doing well, remember? And I said, no, Leafs. And we had a little side bet going on, you remember that?
Yep, I do remember that.
I said I was going to give you 7.5. He said 9.5. I've settled on 12.5.
Okay.
12.5.
I'm giving you 12.5.
Okay,
12.5
Turkey,
points.
we'll take that. All right, we'll take that all day, 24/7.
How about a $50 dono versus a merch pack? What do you think?
Let's do it. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Kirk,
100%,
that's
Okay.
in. That's locked in. Let's put that one. Let's cement that one in. Birthday girl Justine, thank you.
All right. The reason I went 12.5 is because I looked and saw that the Flyers have the 4th worst odds to win the Stanley Cup. There's only 3 teams that have worse odds. So I thought,
Good. Let them doubt us, Kirk.
Kirk, they're not good.
The haters are
not
going to
good
hate
at hockey.
Kirk. Next, you know, you heard about the new guy we got, Kirky?
Who?
He's really
what's
good.
his name?
Pronounce it. Yeah, what's his name?
Stan Vadavan Lavistovic.
Oh, yeah, him.
He's from Florida.
Well, the Flyers, I heard the Flyers picked up 2 Russian guys named Sumarov and Tiyov.
Yeah, exactly right. Stalin, I think is his last name.
Oh, I love it.
I want to, before I let you go, I want to ask you guys a baseball trivia question that I found out the other
For
day.
sure.
I did not know. I was kind of blown away. Who has the Major League Baseball record for the most consecutive games getting on base safely? Which it includes only hits and walks. It doesn't include fielder's choice, drop, third strike, or errors.
God, I feel like this is the Ichiro,
Most
but that seems
consecutive
too easy.
games.
Seems too easy.
Reaching base safely at least once.
No,
I'll
Ichiro
give
feels
you a
too
hint.
new.
Let me guess.
I'll give you a hint.
Tony Gwynn.
Go ahead.
No.
You got to go back before any of us were born. There's your hint.
Yeah. Ichiro felt
Is it
too
not
new.
DiMaggio?
DiMaggio has 56 hits, and his on-base streak was like 72 games. But
What is
this
it,
guy
guys? Is it like old school, like what's his name, like Tommy Crazy Eyes Jensen or something?
No.
No, he's a contemporary of DiMaggio. They played at the same time.
Ted Williams.
You got her.
Oh,
There it is. Good call.
84 games. 84
That's
games in
insane.
1949.
between hits and walks.
Mm-hmm.
Hits and walks. That's it. Yep.
Ted Williams,
You know,
man,
that's
Teddy
just
ball
how
game.
Ted
That
Williams was a little before.
56% of his entire season, boys. That is
Wow.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Kirk, you always come in bringing the heat,
Oh,
man. Remember,
Kirk.
just look in the sky. You need that sky hook. We're there.
12 and a half,
All right.
Kirky.
12.5. It's submitted. $50 dono.
You better-
Our merch pack, my
You better
friend.
be ready to fly
Locked
with the
in.
Flyers, baby.
Thanks, Kirk. See you, man.
Okay. Thanks,
All
guys.
right, let's go to Mitch in Detroit. Mitch, what's
Mitch.
going
I
on?
love talking to Kirk.
He's the best.
Mitch, what's up, buddy?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You hear
loud and
us?
clear.
Sweet. How's it going, guys?
Going great,
Oh,
man.
no.
How you doing?
Not too bad. First time caller for me, actually.
Appreciate it.
welcome.
Welcome. You have a call sign you want to go by?
You're putting me on the spot. I didn't have one coming
Hey,
in.
no rush.
But next time I call.
Yeah,
Yeah,
take your time.
Perfect.
It
This
matters.
needs to be. It does matter.
matters.
You're in the
Got it.
trust tree, but we got to
Yeah.
be able to. Hey,
Let
we
it
see
marinate,
you.
you
It's
know.
not Mitch. Who's that? Is that Dirty Dog? Who is that? You know, you come up with your call sign.
Oh, yeah. I got a big old bird's nest up in this trust tree. So,
I love
you'd
it.
to see
God.
it. You love to see it. We need to make a shirt that says
So, yeah.
"Welcome to the Trust Tree."
all right, guys. So, yeah, I just had a quick question about I actually go to Michigan State, so I'm a Sparty.
Nice.
Own.
Calm down, David.
David,
Calm
calm
down.
down.
I'm thinking of call
Relax.
signs for you
Calm
right
down,
now.
David.
Thinking of
Sorry,
call signs
Mitch.
for you.
Yeah, I just wanted to get you guys' opinion on how you think Michigan State's going to do this year after we just gave Mel Tucker like $1 billion. To
Yeah.
2 solar
Is it
systems.
$1 billion now?
You know what I find interesting, Mitch? Everybody talks about like Jimbo Fisher and all the money he got paid, and like nobody talks about Mel Tucker just getting the absolute back. This is why, and I feel like I said this when it happened. We'll have to run the tape back. That's the best part about it being recorded. Is it's amazing how many ADs panic after they make a hire and the first year goes good, and they just give them all the money. Right? We see this all the time. And it said, like, if you're going to leave me after 1 year to go, especially when I'm in a place like Michigan State, it's a legitimate place, right? If you're going to leave me after 1 year, dude, forget you. You know what I'm saying? Like, after I gave you this chance, I think it is such like a fake held hostage, like a faux hostage situation where they just panic. They're like, here, how much gold do we have in the vault? Give it to him, please.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. So here's my thing. I wonder, and I know it's more than one player, right? That has to win you a game in football. It's a different sport. But how much of year one was a combination of that offensive line and Kenneth Walker, and how much of it was Mel Tucker being the head coach? That's my question. Because if you look, here's the thing with Mel Tucker. They led the league in sacks, right? The Big Ten in sacks.
Oh, yeah.
But they were worst in the league in third down percentage on defense, which tells me you're just blitzing.
Blitzing all
like
the time.
80% of the time.
He doesn't feel like an 11-2 coach, right? But he doesn't feel like a 5-7 coach either. It just feels like it's somewhere in the middle of that.
Mitch, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I what Kenneth Walker is doing in the NFL right now. You got to think that most of that success, or at least a lot of it, was with him. So
Yeah.
I'm not feeling too good about this season. I mean, hopefully, we always find a way to play Michigan good, especially at our place.
Yeah.
So
That rivalry
I'm
in you.
hoping we can, right? But with how Michigan's looking this year,
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Here's their schedule.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Central Michigan, Richmond, Washington, and Maryland, all 4 in a row
You
at
beat
home.
Maryland.
All right. Then at Iowa, at Rutgers, you get Michigan at home. They go to Minnesota. You get Nebraska at home. You go to the Buckeyes, to Indiana, and then you do get Penn State at home.
Oh.
I believe Penn State's actually at Ford Field.
Oh, is it neutral?
Okay.
Neutral?
Yeah,
There's winnable games in there, man. Minnesota on the road.
well, Minnesota, you act like that's so winnable. I don't know, man.
It's winnable, right?
Like-
It's winnable.
Who does Michigan State? Who on Michigan State's offense do you really feel good about right now?
Didn't y'all get a running back from Wisconsin, Berger, or something like that? Who's nice? I'm pretty sure they got a transfer running back from Wisconsin who's nice. You lose Peyton Thorne, obviously. I don't know who's going to play quarterback for him, but you got a pretty good back. Your offensive line's not just absolutely horrendous. You got a couple guys in there.
You got to beat Maryland. You got to beat Indiana.
Yeah, you're right. At Ford Field, even though they didn't have an asterisk on it.
It smells like 6-6 to me, Mitch. I hate
think
to
you
sit
can
here
sneak
again.
8.
Sneak
You
8?
could sneak 8.
What's the over/under?
It feels like
win
one of those
total?
situations where everyone is expecting
I can
Michigan
look that
State to
up.
be bad. Your quarterback's transferred to Auburn. Your wide receivers are transferring out, and then somehow,
Pets'
some
heads
way,
are falling off?
So your pets' heads are falling off, and then somehow, some way, we look up and they're 8-4, and you beat Michigan.
I don't know,
you
man. It
figured out
smells like 6-6 to me. It smells like
me
Team Spirit.
too. That's why.
8-4 would be fantastic, honestly. 6-6 is probably more likely, but I think 8 wins would be. I think we'd be happy with that.
Over under for the year on wins is 5.5.
I'm telling you. That's
And
I'd stay
I think
away.
that's right.
I'm staying away.
You would put money on what? The over?
Yeah.
I would
mean-
too. You got Central Michigan, Richmond,
Maryland,
Look, the Washington game,
tough.
you're going to beat Indiana
It's 3.
at Rutgers.
It's 4.
Then you have swing games like Minnesota.
Look, just lose
To make it 5. I don't know, man. Mitch, I wouldn't sneak in my parents' room and take that $20 from under their mattress
Wouldn't
and
do
put
it?
on it. I'd put it on Boston College to hit the season win total over. That'd be me personally. But, man, call in. Give us that call sign next time, man. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Appreciate the
Mitch.
call.
Appreciate it, buddy. All right, let's go to Steve in Ohio. Steve, what's up, man?
Stevie,
Hey,
what's up, bud?
What's up, man?
all right. You know
Here
what
we
I'm
go.
here for.
Well, here we go.
We got to get one of these eventually, dude.
I got the Ted Williams one
Well-
today. I'm good.
Jake, you saw my Facebook post, so you should know what's coming.
Yep.
Okay. I will name 3 players and give 4 stats.
Okay.
One of the stats will apply to all 3 players. The other 3 stats will apply to 1 player each. To win the game, you need to identify the stat that applies to all 3 players without using electronic devices.
What's the definition of an electronic device? Let's be
A
honest.
device that's run on electricity, bud.
Like, who runs a Walmart?
It's in your lap, Blaine.
Oh, okay. This. My bad. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I got you.
Oh, the iPad.
Oh, okay.
I can give 1 clue if you need help, but it will cost you if you still get the question wrong.
All right,
Okay.
Steve.
The clue will be that you can pick 1 player, and I will reveal the stat that applies to that player only. And if you still get it wrong, then the over-under for Flaming Dragon Friday has to be set at 0.5.
Whoa.
Wow.
Just the
Steve,
hook.
okay.
A lot going on right
All
now.
right, Steve.
Yeah, all right, Stevie, let's do it.
Okay, the players are Rafael Devers,
Okay.
Shohei Ohtani,
Mm-hmm.
and Manny Machado.
Okay.
And the stats are from the 2022 season.
Yep.
All right. The stats are over 100 RBIs, at least 34 home runs, over 40 doubles, and a slugging percentage over 500. Now, who did
Devers,
what?
Machado, and Shohei.
34 tanks seems like a lot.
I don't think Raphael hit
hit
34. The doubles.
40 doubles.
40 doubles. You get behind that one.
Me too.
Did you get behind that?
What was the last one?
The slugging percent. What was the slugging percentage?
500.
500. That's a lot for slugging.
God, it feels like the doubles. You got 100 RBIs.
Shohei
too.
hit 40 doubles.
Did Machado have 100 RBIs? I don't think Machado had 100 RBIs.
Let's go.
Doesn't doubles just feel right?
Still a clue out there.
I feel like I don't want the clue, Steve.
Yeah, I don't want it. I'm not blue.
God, is it the slugging? Is it just the one that
Last time we went,
your
we were wrong on this one.
Okay, hey, y'all live y'all's life.
I like the doubles.
Doubles.
Let's go doubles, Steve.
You're sure you don't want the clue?
Why do we do
Steve.
this every time?
I'm like, now
Now is there a clue? Like, you gotta.
All right, Steve. No, I don't want the clue. It's 40 doubles.
All right. The correct answer is the slugging percentage over 500.
Oh, we won't hear the end of that one. We won't hear the end of that one.
No, Stevie.
100 RBIs.
Well, you got it right.
The
You
100
can,
RBIs was Machado. He had 102.
Mm-hmm.
The 34 home runs was Ohtani. He had
Yep.
34 home runs.
Yeah.
And over 40 doubles
Doubles,
was Devers.
Raphael.
He had 42.
How many doubles did Machado and Shohei have? You know that?
Okay, Shohei had 30 doubles.
Yep.
Manny Machado had 37 doubles. The slugging percentages were Devers was 521, Ohtani was 519, and Machado was 531.
Yep.
God, Manny had a
Yeah,
higher
it's just
slugging than
Shohei. Yeah, I think those guys hit more home runs, right? And Raphael hits less home runs. So Raphael's probably going to have the doubles, but they're still slugging probably at a good percentage.
Well,
Tough.
you
Good
know,
question.
After last week, I mean, we had to mix it up.
That's fine. No, look, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Steve,
Great call, buddy.
one of
Great
these
question.
days. One of these days. Thanks, buddy. We
Have a good rest of your day.
all right, Cody in Illinois.
Here we go.
Cody,
We're
what's
on it
the
today.
docket today, man.
All right, who is ready for a QB10 update?
Oh,
Yes. Big game.
Michigan
Big
State game calls
And
today.
Oh,
you
right
can't turn
after
the
we
ball
had
over like we did.
Michigan State calling
You
in.
won. I could tell the way
Come on,
you
let's
came in
keep
on the
Paul
line.
Bunyan
I'm
in
shocked
Ann
we have not had a Texas person call in about A&M yet. I'm shocked.
Yeah, so it is fitting that an MSU fan called in today. So
Why
is it
it fitting, Cody?
I agree with Blaine. This version of David Cohn would definitely be better than Trey Lance and Sam Darnold there.
100%.
Okay.
This version of Cohn's starting for the Niners, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
to
Like
hear
him and Kyle Shanahan are just looking at each other in the eyes, making good decisions.
Come on, Cody. Give me some good news.
All right. So we're going to start with the stats. 24 of 40 for 302 yards,
Okay.
2 touchdowns,
We threw it a
and
lot.
1 interception.
Okay.
Hey,
Man.
I would have taken that
Murder.
before the game started. I would have
Murder.
taken that.
Okay.
Murder.
How bad was
yes,
it?
this is easily his best personal game so far.
Oh no.
And we have number 7 Michigan 28, Michigan State 14.
Let's go!
Yeah,
Keep
tell you
Paul
what,
Bunyan in
great
Ann
job.
Arbor.
Job.
Let's go.
Hey, it seems like we're scoring touchdowns.
Let's
in the red
go.
zone.
Come on,
Which is
Cody.
what I like.
We're getting better.
And Michigan is now 6-0, and next week they go to Penn State.
Oh
Yeah.
On the road.
Hey,
celebrate
rumor
all
has
wins.
it's a whiteout.
Celebrate all wins.
Rumor has it's a whiteout.
Yeah, it will be.
All right, and
Good luck with that.
So, yeah, they are number 15 in the nation. And then I want to go ahead and do a little Heisman update since Mr. Drew Stanton just showed why he shouldn't have been number 2.
Heisman update.
Fight our way
You
into
a
the
true
Heisman?
fresh?
So QB 10 isn't in there yet, but by the end of the season we might see it different. But I like these guys that are in here, so I wanted to read this.
Who's in there?
So to lead the Heisman is QB number 4 out of LSU, and that would be
Jamarcus Russell. Jamarcus
And
Russell?
then you guys are really going to like who went up to number 2 over Drew Stanton this week. We have halfback number 23
Auburn.
out of Auburn.
Cadillac.
No,
Ronnie Brown.
baby.
This is actually after those guys. This is Kenny Irons.
Kenny Irons.
Yes.
Dude, dog.
Kenny looked at the camera and said, I'm going for 200 in Baton Rouge, and then went for 2 bills. And we lost.
John
Right,
Bond.
and then our foes down in Ohio, they are still undefeated, and they are the number 2 team in the nation, and LSU is currently number 1. Michigan still sitting at number 7.
Where's the game?
Well-
Where's that game at?
It's on the road. That was the 1 versus 2 game in 2006. We'll see y'all soon. We'll see y'all come Thanksgiving time.
Hey, Cody, real quick, what year is Coney in this game?
I'm a freshman.
So you can't win the Heisman.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, you
his
can.
true freshman year.
Who won the Heisman?
As a true fresh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you
Tony
can.
Manziel
I
won the
remember
Heisman as a
Adrian
freshman.
Peterson's freshman year, he came in second.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
This is 1945. Figure it out.
Look, you sure?
Cody, it's always so interesting, man. I hope this comes.
Penn
out.
State, big week.
Big week on the road.
Big week. We got to get some rest.
Our biggest test since Notre Dame. This is going to be tough. You know, we
You
got
locked.
Penn
Gotta be
State
locked.
and Iowa and back-to-back weeks.
Seems like he's growing, though. Seems like he's growing. And
Right.
for Cone, that's
He
a
is.
scary
There's a
thought.
difference
It
between
is
you and
Cody.
Anthony Richardson right now. You're getting better throughout the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're climbing.
I love it. Cody.
Stock's up.
Can we just have a game where we don't turn the ball over, though? But I have
Yeah.
to see what the interception was. Maybe it was a tip. Maybe it was.
It's always the quarterback's fault, and it's unacceptable. That's how we roll over
You're
here.
speaking like a true.
Cody, way to brighten this Monday, man.
Yeah, Cody, thank you,
Thank you.
buddy. Thank you, bud. It's always fun with Cody.
All right, we'll talk to you next time. Hunter in Arkansas. What do you got any good news for us on
Heartbroken?
Monday, Hunter?
All right, guys. I actually came up with a call sign here.
Okay.
Okay, nice. What do you got?
All right, it's Woo Pig Bolts because I'm a Arkansas fan and a Los Angeles Chargers fan.
Woo Pig
Pig
Bowl. That's an
Bowl.
interesting comment. That's like putting a jalapeno on birthday cake.
That is, yeah.
By the way,
Might be great, though.
Oh, by the way, Hunter, I'll let you get through your call. Wait till I tell you what I'm having for dinner tonight. I'm so.
Is it jalapenos on a birthday cake?
No, that's for dessert.
Go ahead, Hunter.
What's good? What's up, Hunter?
All right, so I have a question here. So with quarterbacks, the Heisman's generally a quarterback award.
Yeah, it is now.
Alabama, for example, they've won like a bajillion championships under Nick Saban, but have only had like 4 Heisman winners, and only one of them being a quarterback in Bryce Young. But he didn't win a national championship. But like Tua, Hurts, Mac Jones all won national championships, but no Heismans. What's more important for like a quarterback at Bama, the national championships or the Heismans?
I think the national championships. Like if you're, I say that, but like I think it changes per person, right? But I think like to play quarterback at Alabama, or just quarterbacks in general, you know, it's when you're in the locker room and you're surrounded by us and you're working and you're grinding, you know, it's just you're working for that ultimate goal. I feel like the Heisman is an offshoot of the national championship, and I know it's like Bryce won the Heisman without getting the Natty. I think if you ask Bryce Young, who is the number 1 pick right now, and he was dead honest with you, and you said, would you have rather have won a national championship at Alabama or your Heisman? I think he would have said national championship.
Gotta be.
I agree. I think you would have said that.
I really do believe that.
Because you got to
It's a great
think those
question.
guys who didn't win the Heisman are still what?
National champions.
National champions.
Jake Coker won something but that Bryce Young will never
Yeah,
win.
they're starting in the NFL right now. So, I mean, I would say natties.
Yeah. It's a great question, Hunter. Hey, Hunter, I want to ask you this. You're from Arkansas, right?
Right.
Do you have a brother?
No, I do not.
God, I always wonder if somebody's named Hunter and they're from a southern state, do they have
Worst.
a brother named Forrest? Because that's how our cousins are. Like they kind of.
That's Selma.
Twos.
I
That's that's good as Alabama. But we'll see. Well, hey, KJ Jefferson this year, we'll see.
I totally thought that was going completely different than the.
Oh, really? Look, I got to M. Night Shyamalan you at some point.
I bet you did.
All right, so Woo Pig Bolt. We got to write that down, man. You got to call in more.
Appreciate it, Hunter.
Yeah.
Thanks, Hunter.
Come on, guys.
You too, brother.
Sean in Baton Rouge. Sean, what's up, man?
Shawnee.
Operator, once you put me on through, I got to send my love down to Crain. Good morning.
Oh, God.
He's coming out spitting bars. Let's go, Sean.
That. I didn't know Lil Wayne was calling in for
Spin more rhymes than a lazy Susan.
Dude, stop saying that. What do you got, Sean?
I believe I've solved the issue of the college football playoff expansion. So hear me out.
Really?
Okay.
I can't stand the hush-hush, quiet, secret meetings that happen to choose who goes to the college football playoff and who doesn't. I don't think we should go to 8 teams. I think we should go to 6 teams. I think it's the one thing that the NFL gets right, that if you win your division, you are in. It doesn't matter who's undefeated and who's not. It matters if you win your division and you're in. So, hear me out. The SEC, the ACC, the Big Ten, the Big 12, the Mountain West, and the American Athletic Conference each get a bid. Your conference winner goes. It does not matter if you are TCU and you are undefeated. If you lose in your conference championship game, Kansas State goes instead of you.
Wow. So just a true come out of your conference, you're going to the playoff, no at large.
We just talked about this the other day. How the Seahawks that year were under 500.
Fans.
Yeah.
No, look.
I'm talking to Auburn fans. You guys better be cool with Alabama missing the SEC championship game and therefore being penalized and not going.
Well, like my thing is this. I don't think that's a bad way to go about it. Like I'm not saying you're wrong. I think there's a lot of it makes a lot of sense. But I like the 8 team. I like the 8 team where you have your winners of your Power 5, the conference championship game. I agree with that. Right? I said you have the separate top 25 for the group of 5 and the Power 4, whatever it is now with the Pac-12, whatever it's going to be with the group. You have that 8th spot, or at least 1 spot goes to them, and then you have 2 at-larges.
That's the thing. And at-large meaning wild card with your analogy of the NFL there. You know,
yeah.
Like as long as you have a couple wild card or at-larges or whatever spots you want to call them, then I'm fine with the automatic qualifiers.
Yeah, for sure. But my question, Sean, is is your goal of the playoff getting the best teams to the playoff?
I believe that there should be qualifiers in order to get in. That's my biggest issue with the whole thing is teams go to the conference championship, they either don't even play in it or they lose in it, and yet they get rewarded anyway and they get to go, which means to me the conference championship isn't that important.
Well, what if you did the 11 win mark? What if you had to get 11 wins to be in? What if you added that? Because like if let's say Alabama goes 11-1 this year and LSU goes 11-1 this year and LSU loses at Alabama, so Alabama goes from the West.
That may just reward conferences that are weaker, though.
I mean,
see, now you're hitting me with math, and I'm a South Louisiana guy. I'm not good at it.
I'm not good at it either. Once you start putting letters in it, I mean, I'm terrible.
That's something else.
Yeah, that's true.
If you were to ask my opinion on it, there should be no minimum. Because if I remember correctly, the New York Giants entered the NFL playoffs at 9-7 and beat the 17-0 Patriots, and nobody seemed to complain about it. It was history in the making. So I wouldn't say you have to hit a certain number of wins. Because, again, if you look at a team last year like South Carolina, they were the hottest team in college football ending the season. I don't think they got to 11 wins. But if they somehow were to get into the college football playoffs, you could get some fireworks.
See, that's the NCAA basketball tournament argument, right? Like who gets so many teams get in there. It's an interesting 6 is such an interesting number, Sean. You know what? I'm going to sit down and we need to come up. We already did the relegation model. We're getting ready to do our predictions. Do we just need to come up with what did we call the relegation model? The Crain and Company. What did you have that? It was so funny.
The Crain and Company certified proposal for relegation in college football to fix conference realignment
and make it more gooder. We need the Crain and Company certified college football playoff model to make college football even more gooder than it was before.
That's the great thing about our proposals is they're certified.
They are certified.
Yeah, they're certified.
It's hard to find certification.
And Sean, you asked by who? It doesn't matter. They're certified.
There's a guarantee on the box.
Yeah. So we'll play with this. And you know what? Call in Wednesday because we may release it Wednesday, and tell us what you think.
Well, let me give you one more thing to chew on before
Go
I
ahead.
go.
Good, I hope it's Jolly Rancher
playoff
chews.
With my setup, no, unfortunately not. But last year's playoff would have been UGA, Michigan, Utah, Clemson, USC, Kansas State, and Tulane, which I think could have been incredible.
I mean, I see, like,
why? Another thing is those 6, though. Why those 6? Like, why is the like
that's
the
who
Sun
won
Belt?
Each. That's who won each.
Huh?
That's who won each of those conferences, the ones that he named earlier.
Well, last
yes,
year
but
I'm
why
adding
those
the
6? Why is the
Pac-12
Sun Belt
in it.
like?
Yeah, no Sun Belt.
Yeah,
no
like
Belt.
why does some of the
Last
group
year
of 5s?
Last year I would have added Pac-12 and a single group of 5 at-large bid, but obviously with the Pac-12 going away, I mean, that would mean that your Pac-12 champion is one of 4 teams, which I'd probably find unfair.
God, I find that fascinating. Maybe the Sun Beltic USA, like we had when the conference. That's interesting, Sean.
Great call.
Yeah, Wednesday. That's a really good
Appreciate it, Sean.
Thank you, Shawnee.
All right, other guys on the line, Trace, Chase, everybody else, y'all use Pongo Wednesday. We'll get
Wednesday. Trey, again, like he's saying, use Pongo. Trace, I wonder if this is Trace from Auburn. Was it Trace from Auburn?
It says Trace from Alabama.
That's my boy T Pizzle. Call in Wednesday. Y'all know what's up. We love you guys. God, we had calls from all over. I love it. Canada, Arkansas, Louisiana. All right, got to bet some football this weekend. Now it's preseason. You know, you're really playing with half-ticket cards, but great, it's Monday to bet baseball again. I'm so excited about betting baseball again. So give me the Braves because the Yankees suck. -1.5. All right, on the run line. That's -114. And then the Rangers at home. David, I'm going Braves-Rangers. I call this the David Cohn special.
Braves-Rangers, love it.
At +112. Let's just get to the 26. Please hurry up.
I'm going to take Rangers, too. Rangers money line -175 and the Marlins money line +126.
There you go.
All right, give me the Rangers -1.5. I'm going +112. We bet buds today?
We're BBs.
We're kind of all 3 bet buds when it comes to going to money line. But give me the Cards -1.5 at home. +100, 2 dog bets. I hate what I'm seeing right now.
Oh, Ace Cohn's about to turn 2 years old, and you know what he's choosing? Violence. Mets, money line, -115, and the Cardinals, money line, that is at -2 hundo. We'll see. All right, let me put this hockey stick down. What we got?
All right, let's go to Caging Corey, $2 donation. Appreciate it, brother. How is Carr going to do in New Orleans?
Man, he looked pretty good first drive. We'll see. Looked like he had a good grasp. I know Kamara's going to be suspended a little bit. I tell you what, man, I thought Williams looked good too at running back. I don't know the Saints. I know you don't want to get too hype about the first.
I wonder what their over-under is for the year.
You know, but I thought Derek looked good, man. I just don't trust him. He's going to cry at press conferences.
All right, let's go to Veronica DW with the $50 donation. Veronica, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Rice Baseball's Ben Royo from Corpus Christi, Texas, added to Rice home run history in 2023, hitting 13 home runs his freshman year. Damn. Make those D1 dreams come true, Ben. Have a great 2024 season.
Let's go, Ben. Let's go. Hey, I want 20 tanks. We're learning. They're learning about you. We're adjusting 20 tanks.
All right, let's go to Shane Carr. He says, can I get a shout out to my daughter, Michaela? Today she makes her dream of playing college volleyball come true.
Let's go.
Today with her first game. Come on, Michaela.
Let's go, Michaela. Let's go.
Come on, big day
for you.
Is she
libero? What is she, setter? What do we got?
You know?
Go, do your thing. Big Michaela guy here.
All right, let's go to TL Rob. What up, Travi? #AskCrain&Co. Shouldn't there be 2 types of interceptions? One on the receiver and one on the quarterback.
Yes.
Yeah, I've said this. This. I really think there should be. I really honestly do think there should be.
Maybe like 4 or 5.
Just like I think of an offensive lineman runs into a running back or something like we've seen, or they stick their arms out and knock the ball out, they should get the fumble.
And some should be on the head coaches, too, just for calling.
Okay, now you don't got to celebrate. Now the suits are messing.
Let's go to Paul Lynch. He said, what are your thoughts of the young Canadian Rourke with the Jags? Could he find a home to start? He was a real player in the CFL.
I made a hell of a play. Cost me from a Golden Saturday. I had the Cowboys +4.
Really? I had
yeah.
a money line.
Look, I watched the Rorks at Ohio, like the Bobcats. Not the school that David won't say his Voldemort. I've watched him ball. Yeah, why not, man? He did what he did over there in the CFL. I think the older one's a better one, obviously. But yeah, give me Rourke, journeyman backup. Great story. I like that.
Let's go to Playboy Sparty. He says Peyton Thorne couldn't win a Dr. Pepper tuition toss. Have a good day, everyone.
That's funny.
That's good.
Nola June says, doesn't the AP poll come out today?
Believe it does. We'll see.
We'll see.
Can't wait. Can't wait to see USC ranked 4th.
All right, let's get to the poll.
Let's do it.
All right. Will Bobby Petrino work in Texas A&M?
Yeah, this is going to be a no. They said no. I'm saying yes. Booster Club said no. 61%.
I'll say they said yes. 51%. Really?
All right. Will Bobby Petrino work in Texas A&M? No. 43%. Yes.
No way. I don't believe you.
7.
I don't believe you. That's absolutely incredible.
There it is.
Absolutely incredible to me.
So his work's 8 games.
That's incredible to me. How's Booster Club today?
Great day. Great Monday, y'all. Great Monday. Start the week off right. Let's really get into it. All right.
Let's really get into it. Make sure you subscribe. We're almost to 100,000. Also, make sure you check out that merch as well. We really appreciate you guys. Got some great guests coming on this week. Remember, we're dropping our college football playoff predictions next week, but we want to see what you think. NFL preseason, a ton going on.
Yep.
And like the chances of Stetson Bennett being a bust in the NFL.
Played well.
Especially when he had no expectations. Well, for some of us, unlike Vanderbilt. We're gone.